Because we have such a tight deadline on this project for theater, I'm going to delay the opening of Adobe Fonts and Adobe Color because we simply don't have time for it. So I'm going to give you a quick preview here of Adobe Fonts in Illustrator because I know you're going to want more font choices. And rather than going out to free font sites which are full of poorly designed fonts, come up to Type in Illustrator, and the first choice is more from Adobe Fonts. And that takes you directly out to Adobe Fonts where you can type Fall Concert. Look, I've typed it in all caps and upper and lowercase. So you can see what both of them look like by default. And you're quickly going to say 2,800 font families. Yeah, that's going to take time to scroll through. So there are filters over here to choose from. And there's also, text size and what are you going to sort by, and I have featured selected here. There's also a grid view, but it's easier to look at this in list view because you can see this better. And then how do you want to sort this? So you can go through this on your own. I'll stick with clean to start with. And what classification do I want? Well, I want something simple like sans serif. And then I want a bold font for my heading, but I don't want it to be really wide. What if it were, narrow? And then Proxima Nova. Oh, cool font. And you can look. Futura. What if you chose Futura? Now, Futura is going to be well, this one only has 4 fonts, so that's a small one. Some type families have 30, 40, 50. Okay. We'll just close that for now. You won't get that notice unless you're a veteran and you used this before, so pay attention to that. So here you can see that you can activate all the fonts if you wanted, but you only have 100 fonts. If you activated all of Futura, you could activate it right here, or you can activate different weights individually. And say we wanted something bold and something light for the text, so you could have 2 different versions. Okay, so we could choose Futura Black. You can see I've got a couple of these activated from before, and maybe the light version and the book version. So now back Futura PT, back in Illustrator, we can literally click on the text tool and real quick, don't have 12 point, type 120 here just to get started so it comes up a little larger. You can hit tab to get away from that. But then in your font, you can just type Futura or whatever you chose, and then you can pick the condensed version that you wanted. Click OK, click, and type in all caps Fall Concert. And now I'm not saying that this is the perfect font, and it certainly isn't, because right now I'm thinking maybe it should be taller. Please don't do this. Don't do that. Command Z. If you want to resize, don't do this. Don't do that. Hold Shift, and then let go of the mouse before you let go of Shift, and you will constrain this. You won't stretch this out and make it taller. And if you do that on accident, hit Command Z. Don't try to put it back because you'll never get it back to where it started. And one final tip, you might want to work on the text. Instead of working multiple lines, down here or wherever you put the time, date, cost, all that, yes, use point text and then hit return and type the next line and hit return and type the next line. And then you can adjust the leading, the space between lines independent of one another, and I'll remind you more of that tomorrow. But for up here, Valhalla Vocal Music Presents, make that just on one line, Fall Concert on one line. And that makes it easier for you to reposition these. And chances are you're going to want this in the center, so always put this in the center, but it moved. Well, that's okay. Bring it out here and get it dead center. See how the line it gave you a hint on how big that was? And then you can increase the size, and I will show you some other shortcuts tomorrow, but for right now, this will let you get started. And is this the right font? I think not, but it's a start. Now you're ready to roll, and you know something about Adobe fonts, and you can use 2,800 different fonts from Adobe, different font families, and in those families are dozens of fonts. So in fact, you probably have, I don't know, 10 to 20,000 fonts to choose from.